Yes, and then now add the knee.
Welcome to Hard to Target. This is our next overview video. Today we're exploring common front assaults and techniques that we teach our students to build up a well-rounded self-defense capability. We're not teaching the techniques in this video, although if you watch closely enough, you probably can pick up some details about how to be successful with the different techniques we're showing. We do detail one technique at a time in other videos. I will be sharing as we go comments about strategy. And the longer you've been training, the more value you'll find in those comments. As a starting example, we're beginning with strike responses, and I'm showing 4 primary strategies. First is earth strategy, how to root into the ground and use a vertical plane when you can't move.
Okay, now hit me. Oh, yeah, that was
the second is water strategy, moving horizontally, taking advantage of the side-to-side and diagonal planes. The third is fire strategy, preempting an attack before it can build up any power or momentum. And fourth is wind strategy, encircling an attack so that your opponent or attacker never feels like he's able to get a bead on you at all.
Yes, go. Oh, excellent.
Throughout the video, you'll notice us switching back and forth between moments of practice where my family and I are preparing for workshops and seminars together and moments of waza, demonstrating the form of a technique very slowly. If you were doing that yourself, you would call that a kata, where you're just showing the form.
Yeah. Do it on my leg. Oh, yeah. And this time, pow, after you. Yeah, make sure that works though. Yeah, I think so. You're gonna go low. As I reach, you come at it and block it. And then do your cross. Go. Yes. Do a throat punch. Yes. Oh, wait. Right? If you want to be a little bit more strategic and not be where I'm at, you'd go this way, right? What the? Yeah, but do a punch response. Boom. You're just not there. Boom. Yes. So you're just going to do the same thing with this. As I come to grab you, you're just not going to be there.
This concept of not being where the opponent is expecting you to be when they align all their full power, that is a key concept. If you aren't where they expect you to be, but they still are right in front of your power zones, right in the front of the center of all your targets, that means you're in a good place.
Okay, there.
What I'm showing right here is moving to what we call the superior position. Behind the shoulder blade is a great place to be because I can see my opponent fully with my eyesight and cover up any of his easy attack options, and it's very difficult for him to deal with me. You can't always be there. Sometimes you do have to be on the inside, but when you can, working to the outside is always a good option.
Bring you to the curtain.
parrying, looping, and sliding until it catches. From there, I can use my hip and draw him forward, open the door. Ready? Okay, and yes. Twist my hip forward to bring him out forward. And a little, he's going to tip a little bit toward me. I want that because it's bringing in toward my center. And then I'm going to open up 90 degrees and put it down. Or if he's just feeling pretty heavy and I don't feel like this is going to quite pull him off balance, maybe I even tried it and nothing's happening. So what I might do from here is go ahead and take my outer leg back and then twist pretty hard with my hip, thinking about putting an elbow in the back of his head. From there, I can open the door and put it in. And from there, you're just going to twist forward a little bit. Good. If you feel like I'm a threat, put your fist in my face. Boom. And then you can open up to put on your technique. Good. Wrister. Roll over and fly. We are just continuing to show many options for straight reaching grab or punch. The reason for that is, one, it's really common. Usually when people go to hit you, they do the big hooking punch, and that's why we started there.
Okay.
But they might reach for you in a very straight way, maybe even reach to grab you and then hit you with the big punch. So you will have options to address a straight reaching grab or hit.
And pull him
and
down.
there are so many ways to deal with it. It's probably the easiest thing to deal with. I say that because of the variety of options that are available to you, either outside the reach or inside the reach, compared to angular attacks, in which you tend to have fewer options as to where to go and how to work.
This one, whichever side you want. Yeah, just get your foot in. Yeah. Yes, now roll me over. Toward him. Okay? Yeah, that looks real good. Okay, turn. Keep turning. Yes. That's it. Yes.
Stay close to my head and right to your head like you said. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Oh! Yes. Hear this side?
Now we're working with lower grabs or hits, so if the power that's coming to get you is coming from below, and we're showing some responses to those.
4. Finish at the head. Okay. So So I think this is the action. Yeah, yeah. There. Oh, I got it. Put your foot forward, back there, and sweep back.
Now we're addressing kicks. It's not as likely that you'll be kicked standing up in an attack as maybe if you're on the ground, and we will cover that in a ground video, but it can happen. Most of the time, if it does, it's going to be some kind of a dirty sweeping kick, because the truth be told, people who go and train in martial arts and learn high quality kicks, they're not running around attacking people on the street usually. It's not going to be someone like that you're going to be dealing with. The principle we're practicing here is the same one you would practice with a bladed weapon. You're essentially moving past the striking zone of the weapon, which in the case of a kick is the shin or the foot, to a safer spot where you can then pull the attacker off balance horizontally, sideways, or in a circle, or sweep the leg.
Boom. All right, kick, palm, and chop.
Now we're getting into grabs. You're going to see us address wrist grabs, shoulder grabs, chokes, hair grabs, all of those sorts of things. And we start with the wrist
Side kick.
because
Come here.
despite what people often think when they have never trained before, a wrist grab is the #1 assault start. That may seem like a strange thing, but the reason is pretty obvious when you think about it. An attacker may grab your wrist to hold on to you and drag you somewhere,
Okay.
or
And punch 'em?
to quickly hit
need
you.
to? Good.
They
And
usually
escape.
will try to grab a hold of something before they
Good.
hit you,
All right.
and the wrist is easy
really
to get
go
a hold
through.
of.
All right, go ahead.
It's good to have the ability to immediately change the situation
Yeah,
to
right at the
your
knee.
favor. So you're going to see us do things like settle
go
or
ahead.
move to the side,
Do it again.
move at an angle to reset, so that
Okay.
immediately from
Okay.
the point of the grab, we're beginning to dictate what happens. That's very
Good.
important as a person who wants to defend yourself
that was good.
while bringing minimal harm to the other person, which is what you should be wanting to do. You need to set the control
real good.
as
Okay.
soon as something
Good. All right,
happens.
next.
Not easy when you weren't the one expecting an attack, but it's important that as soon as an attacker enters your zone, he suddenly feels like his mind is yours. From that point on, you're leading and he's actually responding to you. That's one of the most important skills to develop in martial arts, the ability to establish everything into your frame very quickly
Second release.
and keep it in your frame until you have resolved the situation in a way that you're safe, your loved ones are safe, and ideally, even the person who attacked you is safe.
And fourth release.
That last part might sound odd. I mean, the person did attack you.
And chop this away.
As a Christian, I believe that all people are equally valued in the eyes of God because they are image bearers of God.
Good.
While it's not good for anyone to have someone running around attacking people, that person is harming himself as well as other people. And so we do have a sense of responsibility to try to take things to a situation where we can control the attack, end the assault situation, but leave the person in a place where maybe they can learn from this and maybe they can grow into a better person. I don't mean let them do what they want to do. I mean control them down, end their ability to continue this assault, but do so with the minimum force that we can. That's why we build a lot of skill.
Drop a couple elbows and face. Okay, do it again. So 1, 2, 3. Just for the essence of the Jujutsu. So as you grab 1.
It's also why we practice a lot of Jujutsu. You can see in here that we are using strike responses and also grappling responses. Here's the reason I teach both. I came through several different martial systems where one was primary over the other, and that's fine. That's what it depends on what they're trying to accomplish. My goal is to teach students to have a strong self-defense capability, and the easiest way to do that quickly is to provide strong strikes and blocks. You can learn them relatively quickly and have them be effective, and then spend the rest of your life polishing them. Jiu-jitsu techniques are much harder to learn in the beginning because there's so much mutual dynamics that you have to get right in order to make it work right. But they have tremendous power because they do allow you to end a fight or end an assault in a way that also lowers the temperatures or the rage. If someone hits you and you hit them back, the only thing that's going to stop the fight is one person hits the other so hard that they're too damaged to respond, because you get angrier and angrier as you are getting hit over and over. Jiu-jitsu allows you to have a more benevolent response if you choose to. You can pin someone down to the ground and calm them down, and also calm yourself down, because your ire is up. I've been in assault situations, and you get angry, you get mad, and you want to take it out on the person. So this gives you a chance to calm down also, because long term, your goal, of course, is to return to your loved ones safely. For the other person, ideally, you want to leave them in a position where perhaps they can live a better life than they're living right now.
So there. Let's show the other side. Do something low. Anything low? Yeah. Pull your wrist out. Go ahead, do it again. Oh, that was good. Okay, cross hand grab. Okay, good. So same thing. I'm going to try to. Okay. All right. So turn it in and through. Good. Let me have your hand. Okay, good. I'm going between these two. There. Good. All right. Another way is there. Another way is there. There. It's between here. Go grab on you. Okay. Another is over here. Another is over here. Okay.
Something you might have noticed by now, and I'll point out just to make sure you see it, is that as we show different attack scenarios here to the wrist, and in a moment we're going to go to shoulder grabs, chokes, and earlier we had strikes, we are using a similar set of techniques of responses to all these different scenarios. About 20 techniques or so, probably. I'm guessing. I didn't count it out in the video. We're using across this wide range of attacks, because it's going to be much better if you can learn how to adapt a limited range of tools to many different situations than to have to respond to different situations with entirely different tools. We certainly can do that. This is by no means even close to the full range of techniques that we have available to us. And we'll continue to use these same ranges from rear attacks, side attacks. That's how powerful they are. They're that flexible. You can do that with them. That'll make you hard to target.
It's going to be strong. There, just like that. There. Pull in this way, it's going to be strong. Twist, twist, there. And do it really fast, just like that. All right, yeah, I mean, that's going to be pretty good. I can also roll over and roll under. Okay, so I'm going to come around. Out over. So I'm going to click this together, show that pain. Click.
We just talked about the strategy of adaptive techniques. Another strategy we're showing is push-pull strategy. This is a Jujutsu classic. It is responding to the direction of a force by moving in the direction of the force and slightly further than the person who's attacking you expected to go. This strategy helps you unbalance your opponent so that you can apply your technique, whether it's a strike or a grappling technique, more easily.
Number one, arm control. So I'm going to get out
It's not too likely that a person is going to just come up and grab and just stand there statically. Usually they're trying to do something, so they're going to be pulling on you, either to pull you away or to hit you very quickly before you can respond, or they'll be pushing on you, maybe to push you into a wall or push you into a van or who knows what. And the different energy they give you will require a different starting place from your perspective. And so we will talk about that strategy quite a bit in a different video. But now that I said that, maybe you can see that in our responses. From a grab situation, often what it means is when someone pulls you in, their arms are going to bend and they're going to get you very close to them. And so rather than fighting that, you go with it and you use your close range weapons. For pushing, they can stay close to you. It can happen. A lot of times their arms extend at the moment of impact as the push is happening. And so it opens up a different range of options for you, especially in Jujutsu. As soon as the arms extend, now you have a straight arm to work with and you have different tools you can use than a bent arm to work with. And so take a look at that and see if you can discern that as you go through the techniques. It'll be easier to see coming up in the shoulder grab techniques.
Step out of the way of the punch. Good. Grab my wrist with the other hand. Pull your hand out. Yeah, and walk around. Hard. Okay, good. Now, quick. I'm going to come here. Here. Ready? Or that. And then what I'm going to do is the finger lock. Over. you. Don't bother
Ooh,
blocking.
don't.
So give me an ear clap. Do it. Okay, and grab my head. Give me a knee. Oh, and now give me elbow drop to the back of the head. A couple of them. Good, another knee. All right, let's do that. Ready?
You can like actually knee him though.
Yeah. I'll ready?
He's got a pad on.
Yeah, he's got a pen.
All right, let me show this first. That's why we're redoing this, because we went so fast before there was no attack. Like we had good stuff, but it was like there was no attack because we were too fast. All right, so okay, you got to now. Give me the ear clap. Okay. Okay. Good. So ear clap, knee, elbow. Just do those three.
I did that.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I didn't do it right.
It's hard because your thing is coming. I got to get inside your arm or something. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, that's pretty good. Do it again.
Hold on, I got to adjust all of my adjustments.
Okay, good. One more. A little less delay between the knee. Okay.
I'm doing the best I can.
Okay. Yeah, there, and bring your hands up. Good, and I'm gonna raise mine to settle. So let's do that again. Okay, go ahead.
A few times
I know,
in
you
this
gotta get a
video,
good, like,
we've
get a good
shown
hit on it.
escapes
there.
from grabs. By that I
how you
mean
get what
body
moves.
movements to
Now watch
release
this.
the grab
I can maybe
either
hit
along
this.
with a distracting
Maybe.
strike
Yeah, it
or
might
even
work.
prior to.
It might work if I
This
hit
is one to the shoulders
here.
or the
It might.
close, and that can be trickier
But it
than a
might
grab
not.
to your arm. A grab onto your
so
wrist or your arm, once
that's
you've
gonna
trained a little
work.
while,
Very
it's
difficult
really
to stop
easy
that
to
spin.
deal with because,
Okay, grab with two
as we
hands.
showed earlier, you can move your
good.
arms in a
Same
circular
thing.
pattern
It
and
might
without
work.
any force at all,
If I hit
remove
right here,
a grab, or you can strike
but it
the
might not.
nerves on the back
might
side of the
not.
wrist and it will cause
But
the hand
this
to open
move
up
here
and you can get out
is very
primarily
difficult,
by
to do.
moving
So those are-
between
so those are our
the
escapes.
attacker's index finger and thumb. With a grab to your clothing or your shoulders, it's a lot trickier. Their fingers are much more intertwined, I would say, and they're able to get a much tighter grab, so it's hard to just knock it away. But spinning is a really smart escape. Now that may look odd to those who've never tried it before, who are more traditionalists in martial arts, or maybe even MMA. For basic self-defense, remember, you're trying to get free first. It's extremely hard to stop the full movement and momentum of a spinning body. So that's why we do it. Now, some might say, well, you're putting your back to your opponent. That's good insight to see that. But also notice, when we have to do this spinning movement to get free, we're moving away from our opponent at the same time, or our attacker at the same time. And we're also immediately putting our eyes back on them. So we're not staying blind to where they are.
Yeah. So.
A much smaller person can use that release to get free from a much larger person. I will teach very young students and find them to be very successful children in escaping from a grab to the shoulder from a very large adult.
Okay. So as you grab on there. Yeah. So as your hand comes up there or there, I reached here and I'm pulling this way. You can either pull it across or go ahead and do it again. Yeah. You can just cut across, whichever one you prefer. Okay? And as I, okay. Yeah, you could do that. Do that again. Yeah, if you don't want to pin me, sure. Do my head. If you're gonna do that. Try to kick my head.
Okay.
raising this up. Boom. Or
Maybe not.
yeah. We better do this side. Is instead of if that hand comes up there and then come inside to grab. Okay. Come back up. Let's just do it right from here. You grab in here. Yeah, either way, hand. Yeah. So this hand is a problem. So I'm going to give you something to think about. Come in, pull this to here while pushing this away. There. So there. Also twist the ears. It's not quite working. Yeah. Okay. Here I can clap the head. Bam. There. Here, grab. Okay. All right. So I'm coming in. Okay. So here's one, two. That's another. All right. Now let's do an extended one. So push out and show that you're going to hit me. Yeah. Go ahead and show it. Boom. Okay. So you grab it. That's the basic. So as soon as that comes on, okay. Now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to.
And here we're showing, just as before and all through the video, many different options for how to deal with attacks or grabs to one particular part of the body. Of course, you wouldn't have to learn all these to build up a solid self-defense. This is a variety of options that will become tools at your disposal. Just a few powerful ones are going to be really good to have. And then you build on that and you build your variety.
Do the Jujutsu from here. So as the hand comes up, I'm going to. And good old #1 arm control. Okay? Go down forward. I don't want to break your wrist. Go down forward. I mean, that would work. Okay. Okay.
I love using this demonstration coming up in workshops, especially if I can find the biggest person in the room and have them come up and grab a hold of me and try to hit me, and then I'll apply a joint lock. All of a sudden, you can see in his eyes that he's never felt anything like this before. He feels like lightning is flying through his joints because I'm triggering the cutaneous nerves in the joint. He suddenly slams down to the ground just like this, and he's a believer in the techniques. He cannot hit you when you have one of these locks properly applied. Here we're showing that sometimes you're in a situation that you can't apply your techniques in the normal way because you have nowhere to go. Someone has pushed you up against a wall or inside of a car, something like that. And so we're showing how we might adjust ourselves in space so that we have room and leverage to use our techniques.
Drop to the side and block this, then lever me in. Okay, good. Okay, good. Do it again. Okay, let me do this side. The key, yeah, make sure you sink pretty far.
That way?
Toward my hand. Good. Now, as I try to come get you, give me something to think about. Now, lever around my arm.
I don't know what that means.
Put your hand right here and twist me into the wall. There, side as far as you can. Give me something to think about. Bar me to the wall. And, okay, pull me down. Give me something to think about. Okay, bar me to the wall. And, okay, good. Let's do it one more time. Okay, good. You're going to try to bar this arm, that one, and I'm not going to let you. So I'm going to come back, and you're going to keep pulling me into the wall. And then drop an elbow or something. Boom. Yeah. So you're going to use what I'm giving you. Okay. Okay. Okay, that was good.
That was good.
Good. So here it is. The first one.
Since this is an overview, we haven't had a chance to show the building up of learning techniques very often, but just a moment ago we got a chance to show that because I happen to have on film a moment of helping Claire to get ready to help me teach that technique, and you could see it in her eyes and her body as she was gaining confidence in her ability to deal with me on the wall. And you could also see over and over that as her confidence raised, the level of power she was able to put into the technique went up. That's such a great thing to experience as a teacher. You love seeing that in your students. So, thought I'd show it here.
Yeah, bring me in like you're really threatening me, like this, because that's what you're not doing. There, okay, so there you got me. Now this time push me away. Okay, there. Oh. And do the drop move. Now stop.
As we're showing examples of a now two-hand grab, I thought I'd share a mindset that's really valuable to have as a martial artist. At first, when you begin to train, or if you take a workshop on self-defense, it gets really scary when someone puts a hand on you. In fact, that's part of the training, just being able to continue to function when someone has done that. And then when they put two hands on you, it gets even scarier. Maybe they've grabbed both your wrists or both sides of your shoulders. But the truth is, if you can recognize that the more hands they have on you, the more easily you know where all their weapons are. It changes the whole parameters of how you learn to deal with assaults. I'd much rather have both hands on me than to have one hand on me and one flailing around somewhere. Even more so if that flailing hand has a weapon in it or can get one. Perhaps an exception would be a choke, but in most cases, it's much better when I know where everything is. Then I have generally more of my weapons available than the other person has, especially in the case of shoulder grabs. I mean, goodness, I have both hands available, knees, feet, face, teeth, everything. The truth is, someone would have to be really stupid, or let's say foolish, to grab a hold of you by both shoulders and try to shake you around because you have all of your weapons to bring to bear. Even in the case of a choke, as scary as it is, because of the limited time we have to deal with it before bad things can happen, we still have all of our weapons. And that's the thing that I teach a lot in self-defense workshops, is that the first thing to do is settle and see what tools you have available, what's free to use, and what parts of your body are limited because they're being controlled.
Did not fall over. So I tried it. Extended. There. That's going to be the easy one right there. I'm going to push you back, and when I do, just turn. Good. Yeah, good.
Way we don't actually injure someone.
Good, dude.
Yeah.
Good. So go ahead. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Whoop. I wouldn't do that one. Turn me this way and sweep this way.
Didn't turn you.
Whoop. Yeah, that'll look good. Whoa. Yeah. One more. Good. All right. However you want to with me.
You see it well?
Yeah, I can see it fine. Go.
Yeah, that's good.
Good. Do it again. Let's do it a couple times. Good.
Yeah, that's good.
Here, grab me. The first thing I want you to do is hit down and do your ABC. All right? Go.
Think of the ABCs.
2 punches and a kick.
It's just ABC,
Drop
bro.
down when you do that part.
Can you even spell?
Yeah. Good. Good. Okay. Now do the arm over one, the Michael Myers one.
I don't know how to do it.
All right, choke me.
Bam! Bam!
Okay.
Roll reversal.
Go. You gotta get a little bit more
You got the.
room for that elbow. You gotta turn more to
See,
the
the
side so
elbow
you have more
goes
room
like-
for that elbow to get me. Yes. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay. Comes over. Boom.
And there was an example of something I said earlier. If you can settle and see what tools are available to you and what areas of your body you can't use because they're limited by some kind of grab, you suddenly have an advantage in a situation where some people might think it's a disadvantage. When that choke came on, when we turned and brought our arm over top, now we've actually trapped the attacker's arm. He can't get it back, and we have free shots right to the face. The scene I referenced when I was talking to Claire was a scene from the 1978 movie Halloween, when at the very end, the attacker, Michael Myers, grabs Laurie Strode and begins to front choke her. That's really typical of a horror movie kind of situation. A front choke or a high knife stabbing down into the carotid artery. Definitely deadly attacks, and sadly, it's not unrealistic that someone would die from such a thing because we tend to panic. But if we can train to see the situation for what it is, we realize we have a million options and actually can gain the advantage even in situations like that. So I like to use that example in class.
And add that sweep if you need to. Yeah. There. Okay, so I'm going to settle in and strike up into this area.
Here we're just showing our ability to adapt our strikes or our jujutsu to assaults from the front that are less common, but they do happen. Bear hugs, grabs to the top of the head, pulling the head down into a front face lock, grabs around the waist, especially if you have a purse or something like that. These attacks do happen, and so it's good to have ways to not have new techniques, but to adapt the techniques we know to these situations.
Exactly the opposite of what you're doing. Yeah. You can feel that now, right?
Hope you enjoyed this video and that it helps you be hard to target. If you liked it, please give us a like and pass it on to someone you know. Thanks a lot.